You may ask, why Shakespeare? And we actually have given that some pondering and thought in the early days of this school. And Shakespeare, because Shakespeare, next to the Bible, offers the most rich and in-depth experience of our language and of literature. And in the day of Shakespeare, the Bible had come into the hands of the common man. So Shakespeare was very well versed in the Bible, which is evident in his masterpieces, where we see references to Scripture, we see character lessons and biblical principles, which are infused throughout each masterpiece. So tonight you will see your students, your children, go ahead and magnify and display the beauty that is Shakespeare. So again, we want to welcome you. First, we will welcome our 5th and 6th grade. They will produce here Macbeth, which is a story of the importance of the principle of conscience is the most sacred of all property, and a lesson, a character lesson in the fact that when we do not choose to steward our conscience in a way that's consistent with the Lord and his ways, life is not only unpleasant for us, but those around us. Life lesson to pursue love and to pursue the way of the Lord versus selfish ambition. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Valeo Academy's 5th and 6th grade performing Macbeth.
Welcome, friends, to Scotland, where Duncan is king. War has been raging across the gloomy heath as the Scottish thanes, or warrior lords, lead their soldiers to turn back invaders from Ireland and Norway. The mighty Macbeth has fought valiantly to defend the Scottish King Duncan in battle, and no foe can stand against him.
Macbeth and his friend Banquo make their way home, where they shall be made welcome in their king's castle. But strange sounds and sights and an eerie fog dampen their happiness.
When shall we three meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air.
So foul and fair day I have not seen.
What are these, so withered and wild in their attire, that not look like the inhabitants of the earth? And yet are on it? Live you? You seem to understand me.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair?
Hail! Hail!
Hail!
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail!
Stay, imperfect speakers. Tell me more. I know I am Thane of Glamis, but what of Cawdor? Speak, I charge you.
Whither are they vanished?
It's fear. Would they had stayed?
But But the things as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner? You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor, what did not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success.
He bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, And which edition? Hail, most worthy thing.
What? Can the devil speak true?
Glamis and Banacodor, the best yet to come.
But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with our honest trifles, to betray us in our deepest consequences. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
2 truths are told. As if a happy progs this swelling act of becoming king, I beg you, gentlemen, this supernatural soul listing cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why has it given me earnest of success in becoming king, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor, but why do I yield to the suggestion of murdering King Duncan?
Lady Macbeth receives a letter from her husband. In it, he tells her about the evil hag's fateful prophecy, which now burns in Macbeth's heart, as he unveils his plan to bring the wicked promise to pass, no matter what the cost, to king and country.
Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and king shalt be. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to strike at the first opportunity. Come thee home, that I may chastise with the power of my words to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Give him tending. He brings great news. He announces the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Fill me from the crown to the toe top, full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your task is to look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Leave the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself upon our gentle senses.
The air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess, the love that is sometimes our trouble, which we still think is love.
All our service.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? Give me your hand, conduct me to mine host. We love him high and shall continue our graces toward him.
If it were done when 'tis done, and 'twere well if it were done quickly. If the assassination of a king could work like a net and sweep up a consequence, and catch it all with success, that of its blow will be the be-all and the end-all of the whole thing. But in these cases, we still have a judgment here. This Duncan hath been such a noble leader, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like trumpet-tongued angels against the injustice of his murder. I cannot spur myself to action. How now? What news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Have he asked for me?
No, you not he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me late.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you dared do it, then you are a man.
If we should fail,
we fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When King Duncan is asleep, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded king?
I'm settled, and I exert every muscle of my body to commit this terrible feat. Away, my gracious hostess. False faces must hide what false art doth know.
Hear sound?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
Murder most foul. Macbeth the traitor kills his liege lord, the King of Scotland. Tortured by his guilt, Macbeth leaves the scene of his bloody crime to join his wife. Time passes, and weary days turn into weary months. The newly crowned traitor, King Macbeth, discovers to his horror that the seeds he's sown are returning to him as a harvest of rebellion and civil war.
Indeed, a corrupt heart yields bitter fruit. Perhaps Macbeth was once a good man, but good man he is no longer. With seared conscience, he led his country into ruins and his friend Banquo into uneasy grave. Fearful that he will soon lose his crown, Macbeth seeks solace of the words of witches.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Oh.
Fillet of a finny snake, in a conjure, boil and bake. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks whoever knocks.
How now, you secret blockhead, midnight hags? What is to do?
A deed without a name.
I called you by what you profess. How you came to know it, answer me to what I ask.
Speak! Demand!
We'll answer.
Macbeth!
Macbeth! Macbeth!
Beware, Macduff! For none of woman's born shall harm Macbeth.
On?
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord. 'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that give you word that Macduff has fled to England.
Then the Macduff, what I need to fear of thee? But yes, I'll make doubly sure and guarantee my fate by having you killed Macduff. This deed'll do, even before of his purpose cool. No more sights. Wherever he's, gentlemen. Come, bring me wherever you are.
While these things were acting, the queen, who had been the sole partner in his wickedness, in whom he could sometimes seek a momentary repose to the terrible dreams which afflicted them both nightly, died, it is supposed, by her own hands. She leaves Macbeth without a soul to love or care for him, nor a friend in whom he could confide his wicked purposes.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her, she alight by her continually. 'Tis her command.
Well, you see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
Out, Spot, out. What, will these hands never be clean?
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in the sleep, who have died wholly in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. To bed, to bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What has been done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed.
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creeps in this petty place day today, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle.
The tyrant has found his own people to be his enemies, and they're now under the banner of the English king. Despite all his schemes, the fears Macbeth sought to avoid hunt for him now. Despairing his crown and life are forfeit.
We end this tragic tale, a warning to test every spirit and guard our hearts from wicked prophecy and evil tidings. No good shall ever come from listening to wicked counsel, as Macbeth discovers in the time of his destruction.
The English army is near, led by the good Macbeth. Led by the good Macduff, revenge burns inside them.
When will we meet them? Which way they are coming? What is the tyrant Macbeth doing?
He strongly fortifies his castle. Some say he's mad. He's out of control.
Now does he feel these secret murders sticking on his hands? Nothing in love?
Who then shall blame? With all that is with him, does condemn him for what he has done.
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed.
Let us make it our march to defeat Macbeth.
Wow, that reminder of the beauty of Matthew 6:33. God said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." So in seeking the counsel of the wicked, Macbeth lived a treacherous life, his wife lived a treacherous life, and those around him lived a treacherous life. But as we seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness, we will live that life that will bring glory to his name and be a blessing to all those around us. So without another further ado, we'd like to introduce our wonderful junior preparatory class in the next production.
Everyone, wasn't it a wonderful performance? As our next play, The Two Gentlemen of Verona begins, we greet two best friends, Valentine and Proteus, as they bid a tearful farewell on a street in Verona. Valentine is off to improve himself, venturing out to see the world, while Proteus, his friend, stays home in Verona, tied by his love for the fair Julia. So far, so good. Enter Antonio, Proteus' father, who knows nothing of his son's infatuation with Julia. Antonio commands Proteus to leave Verona and travel to Milan to visit the court of the court of the Duke. Proteus and Julia are, of course, heartbroken that they're going to be separated, and their gifts are given to one another as promises of their love. When he arrives in Milan, Proteus proves unfaithful to Julia and falls in love with Sylvia, a maiden whom Valentine, as it turns out, also loves. Unbeknownst to him, Julia has disguised herself as a boy named Sebastian, very Shakespearean, so she can travel safely to Milan and meet her love. There she sees Proteus wooing someone else, Sylvia. Through many twists and turns, Julia's true identity is revealed, and Proteus decides, after all, he'd rather be with Julia. And there's singing, and there's wooing, love, and a bit with a dog. Valentine ends up marrying Sylvia, Proteus ends up marrying Julia, and the play ends neatly with everyone carefully where they ought to be. Please welcome our players, the 7th and 8th grade students of Valeo Academy in William Shakespeare's Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Verona, Italy. Two young gentlemen, Valentine and Proteus, are lifelong friends who studied and lived together. They never fought or disagreed. Never, that is, until Proteus fell in love with the fair Julia. Oh, the rhapsodies and romantic fancies with which Proteus would tire poor Valentine's ears.
At last, after many an hour listening to the high praise of Julia's eyebrow or the ode to the curve of her lip, Valentine began to laugh at Proteus and declared that no such idle nonsense should enter his friend's head. Valentine longed to travel and see the world, rather than waste his youth on love or listening to his friend bleat unceasingly about it.
Cease to persuade, my loving Proteus. Home-keeping youth have ever homely wits. I rather would entreat thy company, to see the wonders of the world abroad, than living dully sluggard as at home.
Will thou be gone, sweet Valentine? Adieu. Think I thy Proteus. When thou happily ceased, some rare notes object in thy travel.
That selfsame day, Valentine began his venture and turned towards Milan. Once his friend has left, Proteus began to write a love letter to the fair Julia. She responded so favorably that Proteus was delighted. But Antonio, Proteus' father, discovered his son reading her note.
Sweet love, sweet lines, sweet life. Here is her hand, the agent of her heart.
How now, what letter are you reading there?
May it please your lordship, 'tis a word or two of commendation sent from Valentine, yes?
Lend me the letter. Let me see what news.
There is no news, my lord, but how he writes, how happily he lives, daily graced by the emperor, wishing me with him, partner of his fortune.
My will is something sorted with his wish. For what I will, and there an end. I am resolved that thou shalt spend some time with Valentine in the emperor's court. Tomorrow be in readiness to go. Excuse it not, for I am peremptory.
My lord, please, deliberate a day or two.
What thou wantest shall be sent after thee. No more of stay.
Nothing Proteus says can alter his father's command, and thus he must travel to Milan. Proteus shares the sad news of his departure with Julia, his love.
Have patience, gentle Julia.
I must. Where is no remedy?
When possibly I can, I will return.
If you turn not, you will return the sooner. Keep this in remembrance for thy Julia's sake.
Why then, we'll make exchange. Here, take you this.
I am going with Sir Proteus to the imperial's court. I
I think my dog Crab be the sourest natured dog that lives. My mother is weeping, my father wailing, our cat wringing her hands. Yet did not this cruel-hearted cur shed one tear. She is a very pebble stone and has no more pity in her than a dog.
Thy master is shipped. What's the matter? Why weepest thou? Away. You'll lose the tide if you tarry any longer.
Counsel, Lucetta, gentle girl, assist me. How with my honor, for I may undertake a journey to my loving Proteus.
Alas, the way is wearisome and long.
Thou wouldst as soon go kindle fire with snow as seek to quench the fire of love with words?
I do not seek to quench your love's hot fire, but qualify the fire's extreme rage, lest it should burn above the bounds of reason.
Then let me go, and hinder not my course, to make a pastime of each weary step, till the last step have brought me to my love.
Well, in what habit will you go along?
Not like a woman, for I would prevent the loose encounters of lascivious men. Gentle Lucetta, fit me with such weeds as may beseem some well-reputed page.
That will be ill-favored. Stay at home and go not.
Nay, that I will not. Presently go with me to my chamber. Yes, Professor.
Julia, oddly enough, dressed herself as a boy, a page, to travel after her beloved Proteus. But sigh, poor Julia, little do you know, Proteus' passionate youth already began to weaken. Mayhaps it would have been better for Proteus to travel like Valentine to see the wonders of the wide world.
Come on, you madcap! Sirrah! How doth thy master part with Madame Julia? How then? Shall I marry her?
No, neither.
Tell me true. Will't be a match?
Ask my dog. If she say aye, it will. If she say no, it will. If she shake her head and do nothing, it will.
The conclusion is then that it will.
Pray you, where lies Sir Proteus?
Married at my house. Trust me. Welcome, dear Proteus. Mistress, I beseech you, confirm his welcome with some special favor.
His worth is warrant for his welcome hither, if this be he you oft wish to hear from.
Mistress, it is. Sweet lady, entertain him to be my fellow servant to your ladyship.
Too low a mistress for so high a servant.
Madam, my lord your father would speak with you.
I wait upon his pleasure.
How does your lady Julia, and how thrives your love?
My tales of love were wont to worry you, my friends. I know you joy, not in a love discourse.
O gentle Proteus, love is a mighty lord, and hath so humbled me, as I confess. There is no woe to his correction.
Was this the idol you worship so?
Even she. And is she not a heavenly saint?
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills, and I must minister the like to you.
Not for the world. Why, man, she is mine own. Aye, and we are betrothed. Nay, more, our marriage hour. I must climb her window. With this ladder made of cords. Good Proteus, go with me to my chamber to aid me with thy counsel.
I will. Even as one heats, another he expels, or as one nailed by strength drives out another. So the remembrance of my former love, this makes me reasonless, to reason thus. She is fair, and so is Julia, that I love, that I did love. For now, my love is thawed. To leave my Julia, shall I be forsworn? To love fair Sylvia, Shall I be forsworn? To wrong my friend, I shall be much forsworn. And even that power which gave me my first oath provokes me to this threefold perjury. Love bade me swear, and love bid me forswear. O sweet suggesting love, thou hast sinned. Teach me to thy tempted subject to excuse it.
Proteus, changeful Proteus, unfaithful Proteus, makes true his name. He now plans to woo Sylvia of his beloved friend Valentine for himself, enlisting the help of Lance and Crab, the most happy of dogs, some musicians, and a young servant boy. He sets about his course of action. But the young servant boy, no boy at all. Indeed, he is the lovely Julia in disguise.
A girl dressed as a boy? What are the odds? Come on, it's Shakespeare. You knew that had to happen.
When a man's servant shall play the cur with him, look you, it goes hard. One that I brought up as a puppy, one that I saved from drowning when 3 or 4 of her blind brothers and sisters went to it. I have taught her, even as one would say precisely. Thus I would teach a dog. I was sent to deliver her as a present to Mistress Sylvia, but I came no sooner into the dining chamber. But she steps me to her trencher and steals her capon's leg. Oh, 'tis a foul thing when a cur cannot keep herself in all companies.
Sebastian is thy name. I like thee well, and I will employ thee in some services presently.
In what you please, I'll do what I can.
I hope thou wilt. Where have you been loitering?
Marry, sir, I carried Mistress Sylvia the dog you bade me.
But she received my dog?
No, did she not? Here have I brought her back again.
Go get thee hence. Away, I say. Stayest thou to vex me here? Sebastian, I have entertained thee, partly that I needed such a youth. Go presently and deliver this ring and letter. Deliver it to Madame Sylvia. She loved me well who delivered it to me.
It seems you love not her. She is dead, belike.
Not so. I think she lives.
Alas!
Why do you cry alas?
Because methinks that she loved you as well as you love your lady Sylvia. 'Tis pity love should be so contrary. And thinking of it makes me cry alas.
Well, give her this ring and withal that letter. That's my chamber. Tell my lady I claim her promise for her heavenly picture.
How many women would do such a message? Alas, poor fool, why do I pity him? This ring that I gave him, when he bind from me, to part him from my goodwill? And now am I unhappy messenger.
Now, my young guest, methinks you're melancholy. I pray you, why is this?
Marry mine host, because I cannot be merry.
We'll have you marry, and I will bring you where you shall hear music.
And see the gentleman that you asked for. Hark, hark, let's play for him.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love
I perceive you do not delight in music.
Not a whit when it jars so.
I thank you for your music, gentlemen. Who is that spake?
One, lady, only if you knew your pure heart's truth.
What's your will?
That I may compass yours.
Thou subtle, perjured, false, disloyal man, thou hast deceived so many of thy vows? Oh, miserable, unhappy that I am.
Unhappy are you, madam, before my coming. But by my coming, I've made you happy.
By thy approach, thou makest me most unhappy.
Ruffian, let go that rude, uncivil touch, thou friend of an ill fashion.
Valentine!
Thou common friend, that's without faith or love, for such is a friend now, treacherous man.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Forgive me, Valentine. If a hearty sorrow be a sufficient ransom, I tender it here. I do truly suffer, as I ever did commit.
Then I am paid. And once again I do receive the honest, who by repentance is not satisfied, is nor of heaven nor of earth, for these are pleased.
Oh, me unhappy.
Look to the boy.
Why, boy, what is the matter? Look up, speak.
Oh, good sir, my master charged me to deliver a ring, which had in my neglect was never done.
Where is the ring, boy?
Here, this is it.
How? Let me see. Why, this is the ring I gave unto Julia.
Oh, crying mercy, sir. This is the ring you sent to Sylvia.
But how came as that ring? At my depart, I gave it unto Julia.
And Julia herself did give it to me, and Julia herself hath brought it hither?
How? Julia?
O Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment, if shame live in a disguise of love. It is the lesser blot modesty finds women to change their shapes than mend their minds.
Then mend their minds, 'tis true. O heaven, were men but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all his sins. What I may see in Sylvia's face is more fresh in Julia's, with a constant eye.
Come, come, a hand from either. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. 'Twere pity two such friends be long foes.
Our fabulous junior preparatory class. Let's give them another hand. Well, again, we're just so thrilled that you are here. And before we introduce our Valeo Academy senior preparatory class and our final performance for the evening, I'd like to just invite you into a few things. Number one, I'd like to invite you all to join us in the lobby for concessions directly following the performances. We have popcorn and lots of different treats. We also have a raffle going on out there, and you are welcome to purchase raffle tickets, and we have wonderful baskets with lots of wonderful treats in those baskets, so please partake in that. We welcome you, and it should be a great time. Also, we will have DVD pre-sales available in the lobby. We invite you to purchase those for yourselves and any family members that you would like to share that with. So pre-sales in the lobby directly following the performance. Also, I'd like to call your attention to the Valeo insert in your program for the evening. If you could just take a moment and pull that out and take a look at that. We really would like to have you, if you are not already partnering with us here at Valeo Academy, we would love to have you partner with us. We are a principal approach school, which actually the principal approach is a methodology which places the Word of God at the center and the foundation of every aspect of our curriculum. So the Bible is our primary textbook. And we teach our children here at Valeo higher reasoning skills to the point that when they exit here at Valeo Academy, they are not only equipped to go out and be successful in life, but successful as a person. And to share that and impact this nation and the nations for Christ. So that is our primary goal here. Sweet relationship with God and impacting the nation and the nations for His glory. So if you look at this insert, we have a number of different options. Whether you'd like to enroll your student here at Valeo, please see me afterwards. I'd love to say hello to every one of you, and those that I haven't had the privilege and honor of meeting yet, I would love to do so. If you would like to give to our scholarship fund, if you would like to be a partner in our prayer team, please let us know. Go ahead and check the appropriate box, name and your email on the insert, and then you can go ahead and place that in the bucket there as you exit the sanctuary on your way out after the performance. So we'd really love to have you. And again, I'll be out in the lobby afterwards. Love to meet you all and chat with you. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be pleased to answer. Also, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. I'd love to invite you all to Life Changers. We're going to have a wonderful celebration, as we always do every Sunday and every Wednesday here at Life Changers. We will have an awesome message, always a message with perspective of life by our beloved Pastor Gregory Dickow, who we all love dearly. Always life. And we'll have some special music by B.B. Wining. So we would love to have you join us for our wonderful celebration and honor mothers this Sunday. Well, without further ado, I would like to introduce our senior preparatory class of Valeo Academy. Extremely proud of them. They've worked very hard to present you with this special evening. May you be deeply blessed.
Well, why don't we thank our actors once again for their wonderful performance. Shakespeare's comedies often involve adventures in the wild wood, cases of confused identity, love, and above all, glorious language. As You Like It opens with a battle. The younger brother of Duke Signor usurps his throne and drives him into exile. Our hero, Orlando, is fighting with his older brother, Oliver, over Orlando's inheritance. Orlando falls in love with Rosalind, daughter of the exiled Duke. Meanwhile, Duke Frederick, the usurper, drives his niece out of the court upon pain of death because she must leave her cousin and closest friend, Celia, the daughter of the usurper, chooses to join her in exile as they seek Duke Signor in the beautiful forest of Arden. Rosalind dresses as a boy so the two women can travel safely, and in the forest they meet Orlando, who has been writing love poems and posting them on the trees to the fair Rosalind, and hilarity ensues. Duke Signor and his company live in the wilderness, and the Duke refuses to bow his knee to bitterness, instead choosing a life of joy and delight in the forest of Arden. Identities are revealed, and love is triumphant in the Valeo Academy Prep School performance of As You Like It by William Shakespeare.
Rosalind, sweet my cuz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and were you yet I were merrier, unless you could teach me to forget a banished father.
You know my father hath no child but I, and truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he had taken away from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
As I remember Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will, but pour 1,000 crowns, and, as thou sayest, charge my brother upon his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. He keeps me rustically at home, stays me here at home unkept. Call you that a keeping for a gentleman of my birth? He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. I shall no longer endure it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam. Thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am here to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Better be employed and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What particle portion have I spent to come to such penury?
Know you where you stand?
Oh, very well, sir. Here in your orchard.
Know before whom you stand?
You are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. I have as much of my father in me as you.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
My father charged you in his will to give me a good education. You have treated me like a peasant. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I shall no longer endure it. Give me the poor lottery my father left me, and with that, I shall go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do when that is spent? Beg? You, sir, get you in. And you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? God be with my old master. He would have never spoke such a word.
Celia, what think you of falling in love?
Oh, do, I prithee, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest.
Why, then what shall be our sports?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife Fortune from her will, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
Nay, now thou goest from Fortune's office to Nature's. For Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
No. When nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by Fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flout at Fortune, hath not Fortune sent in this fool to cut off the argument? How now, wit? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, but by mine honor. But I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight, he swore by his honor that they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor that the mustard was not. But I'll stand to it that the pancakes were not, and the mustard was good. Yet not was this knight forsworn.
Oh, how prove ye that in the great heap of your knowledge?
I, Mary, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I'm a nerd.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it. But if you swear by that is not, you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any. Or if he had sworn it away before he ever saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is it that thou meanest?
One that old Frederick, your father, loves.
Oh, my father's love is enough to honor him. Enough. Speak no more of him. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
The more pity that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth, thou sayest true. For since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show. Oh, here comes Madame Labelle. Bonjour, Madame Labelle. Oh, what's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you may see the end.
Well, the beginning, that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, in which Charles in a moment threw him to the ground, breaking 3 of his ribs, that there is little hope of life in him, and so served the second, and so the third.
Oh, alas!
But what is the sport, monsieur?
Why, this that I speak of.
It is the first time ever I heard breaking of ribs was a sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Well, cousin, shall we go and see this wrestling?
They are ready to perform it.
Let us stay now and see it.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Mr. Charles, what is the new news at the new court?
There's no new news at the court, sir, but the old news, that is. The old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the old duke's daughter, be with him?
Oh, no. For the duke's daughter, her cousin so loves her that she would have followed her exile or died to stay behind here. She is at the court.
Where will the old duke, her father, stay?
They say he is in the forest of Arden, and the many merry men with him. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him each day, and they fleet the time carelessly as they did in the Golden World.
What? Wrestle you now before the new duke?
Marry do I, sir. And I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguise against me to try a fall. Your brother is young and tender, and for your love, I'll be loath to foil him. I came hither that you might stay him from his intention.
I thank thee, Charles. I'll tell thee, Charles, he's the stubbornest young fellow in France, full of ambition and all sorts. He will practice against thee by poison and entrap thee in some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he hath taken thine life by some indirect means or other.
I'm glad I came hither to you. I'll give him his payment, so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. I hope I shall see an end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never learned, yet noble, full of noble device, and all sorts enchantingly beloved. But this shall not be so long, for this wrestler shall clear all.
Come on, since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Oh, alas, he is too young, yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There are such odds in the man. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Madame Labelle.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur the Challenger, the princesses call for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young gentleman, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but in to try within the strength of my youth, as others do.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir.
I beseech you, let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein, if I be foiled, there is but one shame that was never gracious. If killed, I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Simply in the world I fill up a place, which may have been better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength I have, I wouldn't war with you.
Come. Where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir.
You shall try but one fall.
Now, Hercules, be thy speed, young man.
Oh, I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
Excellent, young man!
No more! No more! How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would never change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and the whole world was of my father's mind.
Oh, gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart.
Gentleman, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hands lack means. Will you go, cuz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentleman.
Can I not say thank you?
He calls us back.
My better parts are all thrown down.
Sir, did you call? Sir, you have wrestled well and overcome more than your enemies.
Oh, will you go, cuz?
I'm with you. Fare thee well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown. Charles or something much weaker masters thee.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high commendation, yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, madam. And pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke at the wrestling?
Neither is his daughter if we judge by manners, but yet indeed Celia is his daughter. Rosalind is the daughter of the banished Duke. Sir, fare you well.
Fare you well. Thus must I, from smoke into the smother, from tyrant Duke unto a tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind,
Is it possible on such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
My father did love his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly?
Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, niece, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court is 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. Did I offend your highness?
Thus do all traitors. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet, your mistrust cannot make me a traitor.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
Oh, no, dear sovereign. Hear me speak. If she be a traitor, why, so am I.
Aye, Celia, we stayed here for your sake. Her very silence and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. She is banished!
Pronounce that sentence, then, on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool! You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time upon mine honor and in the greatness of my word, you die!
My poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Will you change fathers? I'll give you mine. Prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not, Celia.
No, hath not? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Oh, alas, what danger would that be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far?
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch upon my face. The like do you, and so we shall pass lawn and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I did suit myself all points like a man, with a gallant curtal axe upon my thigh, and a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart there lie what hidden woman's fears there will.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I will have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look you call me Ganymede. But what will he be called?
Something that hath reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Eliana.
Eliana. Yeah. Wait, but cousin, what if we essay to steal the clownish fool out of thy father's courts? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
Oh, he'll go long over the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and wealth together. Devise with me the fittest time and the safest way to hide from our pursuit. Now, go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of pain and pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious courts? In this our life exempt from public haunt. Find tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons and stones, and good in everything. I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Happy is your grace. Happy is your grace that can change the bitterness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, should we go kill us some venison?
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jacques screams at that. Today, my lord Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he laid under an oak whose antique root peeps out.
Upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag, that from the hunter's aim had taken a hurt. Much marked the melancholy Jacques, which stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting its appearance.
But what said Jacques? Did he not moralize his spectacle?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring him to you straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them?
I cannot hear of any that did see her. The ladies, the attendants of her chamber, they saw her abed, and in the morning early the bed was untreasured of their mistress.
My lord, the Roynish clown is also missing. His spirit of the princess's gentlewoman confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler, that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles, and she believes that wherever they are gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him.
Who's there?
What? My young master? Oh, my gentle master, oh, what a world is this, when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these walls. The enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother hath heard of your praises, and plans to burn the lodging where you lie tonight.
Why, whither, Adam? Wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, but come not here.
What? Wouldst thou have me go beg my food?
I have 500 crowns that I saved under the thrifty hire of your father. Here is the gold, and although I may be old, I will do the service of a younger man in all of the business and necessities.
Oh, good old man, thou art not for the fashion of these times, but come thy ways. And ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
I'll follow thee to the last gasp, with truth and loyalty.
I care not for my spirits, if my legs were not weary.
I could find in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman, but I must comfort the weaker vessel. Therefore, courage, good Aliena.
Oh, yes. I pray you, bear with me. Oh, I cannot go any further.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Now I'm in Arden. Yeah, trees. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was at a better place, but, travelers must be content.
Hey, look you, who comes here? Old man and shepherdess in solemn talk. And that is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corinne, that thou knowest how I do love her.
I partially guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corinne, being old, Thou canst not guess. Oh, thou didn't then never love so heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly, abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast never loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd, searching for thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine, I remember. When I was in love, I broke my sword upon a stone and bid him take that for coming tonight to Jane's smile.
Oh, I pray you, one of you question yon woman. If she for gold will give us any food, I've been almost to death.
Holla, you clown.
Peace, fool, she's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters.
Good even. Good even to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I pray you, shepherd, if that in this desert place can buy entertainment, bring us to a place where we may rest ourselves and feed. For here's a young maid in travel much pressed.
Fair sir, I pity her, and I wish for her sake more than for mine own. My fortunes were more able to relieve her, but I am a shepherdess to another man. His flocks and bounds of feed are now on sale. By the reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on. But what is come see?
If it stand with honesty, I pray you, buy thou the cottage pasture and flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place and willingly could waste my time in it.
A shilling the thing is to be sold. Go with me, I, your very faithful feeder, be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and tune his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather, rough weather.
More, I prithee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I think it. I can suck the melancholy from a song, as a weasel sucks eggs. More.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, another stanza.
Well, I'll end the song. Sirs, cover the while. The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to know you.
I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun, and loves to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats, and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemies, but winter and rough weather, rough weather. I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Adam. Adam.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here, down I lie and measure out my grave. Goodbye, kind master.
Why? Why? Why, how now, Adam? No. No greater heart in thee. Live a little. Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it or bring it for food to thee. Come, come. Thou shalt not die for lack of dinner. If there live anything in this desert, cheerly, good Adam, stay.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, he is but even now gone hence. Here he was merry hearing of a song.
Go seek him and tell him I will speak with him.
He saves our labor by his own approach.
Why? How now, Jaquise? What a life is this, that your poor friends must woo your company? What, you look merrily?
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest. My lungs began to crow like Chanticleer. That fools should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh sans intermission an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool. Fool's the only wear.
What fool is this?
One that hath been a courtier. I am ambitious for a fool's coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments, that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind to blow on whom I please. For so fools have.
Forbear and eat no more!
I have eaten none yet.
Nor shall not, till necessity be served.
Art thou thus bold in man, by thy distress, that in civility thou seemest so empty?
The thorny point, of bare distress has taken from me the show of smooth civility. But forbear, I say, he dies that touches any of this fruit, until me and my affairs are answered.
What would you have? Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you.
Sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command the help we have, that to your wanting you may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little. There is an old, poor man in the forest who suffers from two weak evils, age and hunger.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste till your return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we are not all alone, unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more awful pageants than the scene when we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They all have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. First, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy, with satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. Then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. Then the justice, with eyes severe and beard of a formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sounds. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Sit down, your venerable brethren, and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome. Fall 2. I will not trouble you as yet about your fortunes. Give us some music, good cousin sing.
Oh, blow, thou winter wind, that ist not so unkind as men's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude.
Hey-ho, sing hey-ho unto the green holly. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, that dost not bite so nigh, has benefits forgot. Though thou the waters warp, thy sting is not so sharp, as friends remembered not. Hey-ho, sing hey-ho unto the green holly. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
If you were the good Sir Roland's son as you have whispered faithfully you were, as mine eyes doth his effigies, witness, most truly limbed and living in your face. Be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Give me your hand and let me all your fortunes understand.
Not see him since? Sir, that cannot be. But were I not the better part made mercy, I should not seek an absent argument of my revenge thou present, but look to it. Find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is. Seek him with candle, bring him dead or living within this 12-month, or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory.
Sir, if only you knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain thou! Push him out of doors! Do this expediently and turn him going!
Hang there my verse, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character. That every eye in which this forest look shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
And how like you the shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherdess, in respect of itself, 'tis a good life, but in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. Now, in respect that it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherdess?
No more, but that I know, the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is, and that he that wants money, means and content is without 3 good friends. That good pastures make fat sheep, and that a great cause of the night is lack of the sun.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast thou ever in court, shepherdess?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
For not being at court, your reason.
If thou never wast at court, then thou never sawest good manners. And if thou never sawest good manners, then thou manners must be wicked. And wickedness is a sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a perilous state, shepherdess.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear, owe no man hate, envy no man's happiness. You have too quarrelly a wit for me. I'll rest. Oh, here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From east to western Ind, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted upon the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind.
Ugh.
If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosalind. They that reap and sheaf and bind, then to card with Rosalind. Sweet is not a sow's rind, such a nut as Rosalind. La 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 Rosalind.
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Then truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Oh, look, here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
But upon the fairest boughs, or to every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter, what tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners with all?
How now? Back, friends. Shepherdess, go off a little. Go with her, Sirrah.
Come, shepherdess, let us make an honorable retreat, but not with bag and baggage, but with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them, and more too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses could bear.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change you color.
I pray thee who?
Is it possible?
Celia, I pray thee, with the most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful. And yet again, wonderful. And after that, out of all hooping. I know when you don't.
I pray thee, take the cork out of thy mouth that may drink thy tidings.
It is Jan Orlando.
Nay! Devil take mocking. Speak true maid and sad brow.
In faith, coz, 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas the day! What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? And how did he part with you? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
Oh, you must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first.
But does he know that I am here in the forest and dressed like a man? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
Cry holla to thy tongue, I prithee. It curvets unseasonably.
Don't you know I am a woman? When I think, I must speak.
Oh, you bring me out. You bring me out. Soft, comes he not here?
Say goodbye. 'Tis he.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
And so had I, but yet for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees by writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
Oh, the worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I grow weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in the water and you shall find him.
There I shall see mine own figure. I'll tarry no longer with you.
I am glad of your departure, good Monsieur Melancholy.
Farewell, Signor Love.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is it o'clock?
You should ask me what time o' day. There is no clock in the forest.
Why, then, there is no true lover in the forest. Else, sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time just as well as a clock.
Where dwell thee, youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place? Your accent is something much finer than you can purchase and so removed a dwelling.
As I have been told, so by many. But, indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me how to speak, who, in his youth, was an inland man, one who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love, and I have heard him read many lectures against it. And I thank God I am not a woman to be touched with so many giddy offenses as he has generally taxed their whole sex withal.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
I see none of my uncle's marks upon you, for he taught me how to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am certain you are not prisoner of.
What were his marks?
Lean cheek, which you have not. Blue eye and sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. Beard neglected, which you most certainly have not.
I swear to thee, youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it, and you may as soon make her that you love believe it. But in good sooth, are you he who hangs these verses upon the tree wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes do speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness. But I profess curing it by counsel.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my coat to woo me.
Woo you. I swear to the youth, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me, and I will show it to you. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister.
Rosalind.
Stop that goat! Come apace, good Audrey! I will fetch up your goats, Audrey! And how now? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features? Lord, warn us, what features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet, honest Ovid was among the Goths. Oh, knowledge ill-inhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house. Truly, I would the gods made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly.
For the truest poetry is the most feigning.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard favored. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair. So I pray the gods make me honest.
But, be as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar of the next village, who hath agreed to meet us here in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen. Here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver Martex, you are very well met, sir. Shall you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give the woman? Truly she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
I will not give her on any gift of any man.
Proceed, proceed. I'll give her.
Good evening, good master, what ye call it. How do you, sir? You are very well met, sir. God ill see your last company. I am very glad to see you, sir.
Will you be married, fool?
As the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bells. So a man hath his desires, and as pigeons bill, so wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush? Like a beggar? Get you to a church. And have a good priest.
Excuse me. I am not in the mind. I would rather be married of him than another, for he is not likely to marry me well. And not being well married, it gives me an excuse hereafter to, leave my wife.
No, go thou with me. Let me counsel thee.
Come, Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in Baudry. Farewell, good Sir Oliver, not oh sweet Oliver, not oh brave Oliver. Leave me not behind thee, but wind away, begone, I say. I will not be wedding with thee. Go.
No! Oh. 'Tis no matter. Ne'er a fantastical knave of them all shall flout me out of my calling. Oh, excuse me, sir. Sorry.
Never talk to me, for I will weep.
Oh, do I prithee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
Have I not cause to weep? Why did he swear he'd come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly, there is no truth in him.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in. Who comes here?
Mistress and master, you have oft inquired after the shepherd who you saw sitting by me on the turf, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess. That was his mistress.
Well, in what of him?
If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, come hence.
Come, let us remove, for the sight of lovers feedeth those in love.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness.
Now I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not. Until that time, I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you, who might your mother be that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? But mistress, know thyself, down on thy knees. For I must tell you friendly in your ear, sell when you can, for you are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take up his offer.
Oh, sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
her foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger? Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I like you not. Come, sister, will you go? Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister.
Oh, dead shepherd, now I find thy saw of might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe,
What sayest thou, Sylvius?
sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love,
Thou hast my love. Is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Sylvius, the time was that I hated thee. And yet it is not that I bear thee love. But since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company which erst was irksome to me, I will endure. And I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed. Knowest not the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft. He hath recently bought the bounds in the cottage that the old Carlet was once master of.
Think not I love him, yet he talks well. And now I remembered, scorned at me. I marvel why I answered not again. But that's all one. Omittance is no quittance. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Sylvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter is in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in either extremity are both abominable fellows.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then 'tis good to be a post.
I have not the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, but it is a melancholy of mine own, indeed, the sundry's contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
Traveler, by my faith, you have much reason to be sad, for I fear you have sold your own land to see other men's. Then to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience has made you sad. For I had rather a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad, and travel for it too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveler. How now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You a lover?
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy. Come no more in my sight, for I had lief be wooed of a snail.
A snail.
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head, comes armed in his fortune, and prevents the slander of his wife.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath a Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor, and like enough to consent. Tell me now, what would you say to me, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you had better speak first. And when you are gravelled in like a matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you in entreaty, and there begins new matter. Am not I your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because then I would be talking of her.
Then in her person I'd say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die.
Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, I will. Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me
Aye, and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Then can one desire too much of a good thing? Oh, come, sister. You shall be the priest and marry us.
Pray thee, marry us.
Oh, I cannot say the words.
You must begin with, will you, Orlando?
Oh, go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
No, then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
And I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now, tell me, what would you say to her? How long would you keep her after you have possessed her?
Forever and a day.
Nay, say a day without the ever, Orlando, for maids are May when they are maids, and men are April when they woo, but the sky changes when the maids are wives.
And will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
For these 2 hours, my fair Rosalind, I will leave thee.
No, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
If you break one jot to your promise or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most unworthy of her that you do call your Rosalind.
With no less religion than if thou were indeed my Rosalind. Adieu.
Adieu.
Oh, you have simply misused all woman in your love prate.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how fathoms deep I am in love. Oh, I shall go find a shadow and sigh till he comes. Oh.
Then I'll sleep.
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this.
Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest. I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Come, you are a fool.
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? Then go your ways to her, for I have seen that love hath made you a tame snake.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, where in the pearliest of this forest stands a sheep cote fenced about with olive trees.
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom. Left on your right hand brings you to the place. But at this hour the house doth keep itself. There is none within.
If that deny may profit by a tongue, then
Should I not know you by description? Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
We are.
Orlando doth commend himself to you both, and to that youth that he doth call his Rosalind. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. If you knew of me, what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left with a promise to return again within an hour. Pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, lo, what befell? A wretched, ragged man lay sleeping on his back. A lioness with udders all done dry lay couching, head on ground with cat-like watch, when the sleeping man should stir, for 'tis the royal disposition of the beast to prey on nothing that doth seem as dead. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
Well, he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him their food to the hungry lioness?
Twice did he turn his back and purpose so, but kindness nobler ever than revenge, and nature stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him.
Are you his brother?
Was you he rescued?
Was you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. To tell you what I was since my last conversion, so sweetly tastes being the thing that I am.
But for the bloody napkin.
By and by, in brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, who committed me unto my brother's love, and instantly led me unto his cave. There stripped himself, and here upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled. And now he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. After some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither to tell you the story, so that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this bloody napkin to that youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Oh no, Ganymede! Sweet Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
Oh, there is more in it. Cousin Ganymede!
Oh, I would I were at home.
Oh, come, we'll lead you thither. I pray you, sir, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You man, you lack a man's heart.
I confess I do. Sir, a body would think this was, well, counterfeited. I pray you, tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hi-ho!
This was not a counterfeit. There's too great testimony in your expression that this was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Be of good cheer, and grab a good heart, and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do. But in faith, I should have been a woman by right.
Oh, come, you look paler and paler. Pray you, draw homeward. Good sir, go with us.
That I will. For I must bear answer back. How you do excuse my brother, Rosalind?
I shall advise something, but I pray you, commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey. A most wicked Oliver, Audrey, a most vile Martex. But, Audrey, there is a youth here in this forest that lays claim to you. It is meat and drink to me to see a clown.
Good evening, Audrey.
Good evening, William.
Good evening, friend. How old are you, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
Art thou wise?
Aye, sir. I have a pretty wit.
Thou sayest well. But I do remember a saying, the fool doth think himself to be wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Do you love this maid, sir?
I do, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have. You are not ipse. I am ipse.
Which he?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Abandon yourself from the society of this female, or clown, thou perishest, or to thy better understanding, diest, or to wit, I kill thee. Go thee away, translate thy life unto death.
God rest you, Mary, sir.
Away. Audrey, away.
Trip, Audrey, trip. I attend.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her, that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant, and will you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question. I love Eliana. Say with you that she loves me, and consent to us both so that we may enjoy each other.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you and prepare Eliana, for look, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
How now, Orlando? How it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought your heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how well I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that. They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But, oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why, then I cannot serve your return for Rosalind tomorrow?
I can live no longer by thinking.
Why, then I will weary you no longer with idle talk. Know of me, then, for now I speak to some purpose. That I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. Believe, then, if you please, that I can do strange things. But if you do love Rosalind, so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Eliana, so shall you marry her, and it is not impossible to me to set her before your eyes tomorrow.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do. If you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Get away from me, get away from me. Youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I've writ to you.
I care not if I have. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
That is mine, young sir. Give me my necklace. Filthy rag. Pardon me. You little thing. Contraption of what not.
Excuse me.
I shall save this for later.
I
You worthless.
apologize.
You can't believe it. This was a gift given to me by my love.
Oh, I see.
Irreplaceable. Ridiculous.
It is to be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion and all adoration, all made of duty and observance. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Oh, I pray you enough. 'Tis like the howling Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry a woman, and I shall be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfied man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. And as you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So, fare you well. I have left you with commands.
I will not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe the boy Orlando can do all this he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope and know they fear.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, when I first saw him, methought he was a brother to your daughter.
There is sure another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Greetings and salutation to you all.
Good, my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman which I have met so often in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
Aye, if any man doubt that, let him be put to my purgatation. I have trod a measure, I have flattered a lady. Stay. I have been smooth with thine enemies, politic with thy friend. I have undergone 3 tailors, I have had 4 quarrels, and I would like to have fought one of them.
And how was that taken up?
Faith, we met and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
How 7th cause?
Upon a lie, 7 times removed. And thus, sir, I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. He sent me word that if I said his beard was not well cut, he was in the mind that it was. This is called the retort courteous. If again his beard was not well cut, he said he cut it to please himself. This is called the quit modest. If again his beard was not well cut, he disabled my judgment. This is called the counter-check quarrelsome. If again his beard was not well cut, he said I lie. This is called the reproof valiant. If again his beard was not well cut, he said I spake not true. This is called the counter-check quarrelsome. And so to the lie circumstantial and the lie direct.
And how oft did you say his beard was not well cut?
I dare go no further than the lie circumstantial, and he durst give me no more than the lie direct. And so we measured swords and departed.
Now can you nominate in order the degrees of the lie?
I will nominate you the degrees. First choke, second grip, modest, third reply, curlish, fourth proof, valiant, sixth counter check, squirrel, sum, 6 lie, second sense, 7 lie direct. Woo!
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
Then is there mirth in heaven when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter.
Hestia from heaven brought her, yea, brought her hither, so thou mightest join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. And to you I give myself, for I am yours.
There be truth in sight. You are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. Nor never wed woman if you be not she.
Peace ho, I bar confusion, 'tis I must make conclusion of these most strange events. Here's 8 that must take hands to join in Hestia's bands. You and you, no cross shall part. You and you are heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are sure together as winter to foul weather.
What?
Whiles the wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason wonder may diminish. How thus we met, and these things finish.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word, now thou art mine. Thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine.
Audience for a moment or two.
No.
That bring tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick addressed a mighty power which were on foot in his own conduct, purposely to bring his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him was converted both from his enterprise and from the world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome.
First in the forest, let us do those ends that here were well begun and well begot. Play music.
Ho, sing hey ho unto the green holly. Most friendship is fading, most loving mere folly. Then hey ho the holly, this life is most jolly.
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along